Hello everyone, Just Podcast TV is here. Please don't forget to like and subscribe and hit the bell icon to get notified on new contents.
365 Gifts and Surprises. A whole year has passed. A year ago, Zach was still a delivery man in everyone's eyes. He was a poor man, but after a year, it would be his birthday again. Countless bosses of car companies would come to congratulate him. Zach felt bad in his heart. All the bosses are really annoying me. I, Zach, have no morals or ability to make all the bosses rush over to celebrate my young birthday. I'm ashamed of myself. Zach was really embarrassed, but all of the people present also sincerely rushed over. Director Marquez, you don't have to be polite. You made our automotive companies unite and selflessly share the hydrogen energy power system with all the automotive companies present. This is a great contribution. Because of this, we have to come and congratulate you. That's right, Director Marquez. Previously, the Automotive Alliance was indifferent to our automotive companies, as if we were just borderline people. But now, we are different. With the Windchaser brand and with the hydrogen power system, they have to look up to us. We have never experienced this kind of treatment before. Everyone expressed their gratitude to Zach, and they also wished him a happy business. Zach really didn't know what to do, so he raised his glass to celebrate with all the bosses' presents. A small private birthday is not worth celebrating. With the presence of all the bosses tonight, we wish the car industry to become more and more developed and prosperous. Under Zach's call, everyone raised their glasses together and then gathered together, making the entire hotel lobby full of joy. The lively banquet finally ended at around 10 o'clock in the evening, and all the bosses left one after another. After Carson finished greeting and leaving, Dusty went to find Zach alone. I'm not thinking about your birthday. I'm an old man and I have no reason to give a young man like you a birthday. Dusty was a practical person, so he naturally spoke the truth. Of course, Zach wouldn't mind. After that, Dusty said to him, I am not thinking about your birthday, but someone is thinking about it. Do you remember the last time I told you that someone wanted to give you a special gift? After that, Dusty took out a small silver box. It was about the size of a 14-inch laptop. Everything is in the underground parking lot of the hotel. You can go down and take a look later. He patted Zach's shoulder and got into the car with the accompanying people. Dusty was extraordinary now. There were special people accompanying him when he went out. Although he was wearing a suit, he looked well trained. In order to protect him, the expert in the hydrogen power system, he was also very responsible in the relevant aspects. After Dusty left, Zach smiled and sent the others away. Then he looked at Luna, who was beside him. What did old Dusty give me? Luna shook her head. I don't know either. Also, I can't contact old Dusty. It was Carson who contacted him. Zach didn't think Luna knew. He called her and the two of them walked towards the underground parking lot. From afar, Zach saw a luxury sports car, but he had never seen it in the world. The brand was the Windchaser. Zach turned to look at Luna. You still say you don't know. Luna felt wronged. I really don't know. I'm sure this car was not manufactured by QZ. As the company's executive vice president, the model of the company's products needed to be approved by her. No matter how bad her memory was, she couldn't forget the second model of the car produced by Windchaser, right? Zach chose to believe Luna. Since it was not produced by QZ, that should be produced by other manufacturers. Walking to the front of the handsome car, Zach opened the silver box given by Dusty. The first thing he saw when he opened the box was a wooden box on the top floor. It had a look of a commemorative coin or something. It was inconvenient for Zach to open the box, so Luna helped him. Episode 366, A Handsome Young Man. open the red wooden box and reveal a medal made of some unknown metal. Luna did not understand. What does this mean? Who gave it to you? Zack smiled and did not mind Luna's question. He then opened the second hinge in the box. The second floor was a model of a car. It was the same silver car, but it was in the shape of an SUV. It was very gorgeous and domineering. Even Luna, who was building the car, praised. Which company designed this model? It's very good. On the seat where the license plate was hung, there were two letters printed, ZM. After putting the metal and model of the car aside, Zack took out the last layer of things. It was two car remote control keys, but they looked completely different. One was oval-shaped red, and the other was a regular black model. Two cars! Zack was very surprised. After all, these two keys were clearly not the same car. Sure enough, the regular black car easily opened the door of the wind chaser. It felt very uncomfortable after running around in the car. For a regular sports car, this seat was indeed very comfortable, and the driving experience was also very good. However, Zack did not like sports cars, and felt that it was not too comfortable. Thus, he returned to the underground parking lot of the hotel and picked up the second red oval key to find the car. Very quickly, he received a response from a car in the corner. He heard the sound of the car's siren. After the car's door was pulled open, Luna was shocked. Beside the car, with clear edges, was a firm and mighty straight-edged car. It was completely the model of a muscle car, and it was also the type that made people feel like their buttocks would hurt if they looked at it. But in fact, after opening the door, he found that the space inside the car was very spacious, and it was also very luxurious. Sitting in it, he did not know how to describe it. It was perfect everywhere. When the first button was turned on, the sound was very low. If it wasn't for the vibration feedback, he wouldn't have felt the engine working. After calling Luna to get into the car, Zack drove the car out for another round. It was like a bull that couldn't be stopped, whether it was on the road or the mountainous environment. Only places that you can't think of. There's no place that a car can't drive to. Looking at the remaining fuel percentage on the screen, it was clear that it was a car with a hydrogen power system, and it was quite energetic. After returning to the underground parking lot of the hotel, Zack called Dusty. Dusty, this car can't be a power system that you customize for me, right? It's quite exciting. Dusty laughed proudly. Ha ha! Of course! This was personally adjusted by me, and I have also integrated the improved technology into it. In the future, you will slowly discover the wonders of this car. Zack was quite satisfied with this car. After chatting with Dusty for a while, Zack ended the call. As for the sports car, he knew it was the one that he had promised Sander. He believed that when he sent it to Sander another day, Sander would definitely be pleasantly surprised. After everything was tidied up, Zack went to the back of the car and called Luna to the back. However, Zack did not have time to talk to Luna at this time. He smoked a cigarette and said, "Today is my birthday. I forgot about it myself, but Kate definitely won't forget. She might still be at home waiting for my surprise when I suddenly go back. If I had remembered earlier that today was my birthday, even if I didn't have time to go back, I should have given her a call in advance so that she wouldn't miss me and sleep badly. Wait a moment. I will call Kate first." After taking out his phone, Zack called Kate. But at that moment, a phone rang behind him. Zack did not think too much about the classic phone manufacturer's voice. He shouted at the top of his lungs to let Luna answer the phone, but he did not answer. In any case, the sound of footsteps were coming towards him. Zack was very surprised. He did not understand why Luna did not answer the phone, so he turned his head in surprise and wanted to ask, but in the end, he saw Kate, whose beautiful eyes were filled with tears. Zack was stunned. "Kate, why are you here?" Kate walked in front of him and threw herself into his arms. Episode 367, The Car Maniac. Luna did not stay with Zach on his birthday night because she could feel Kate's feelings for him. Tonight, Zach belonged to Kate. The next day, Kate left. After all, she was the executive vice president of the Dream Group, and there were many things that needed her to deal with. After sending Kate off on the plane, Zach returned to the QZ Group. Although he did not have a position in the QZ Group, he was more aware of it than many of the leaders. At the very least, he would be able to enter the main gate by brushing his face. The other cars of Windchaser were going to be listed soon. He was anxious about the article. Although this article was written by an ordinary staff member, it was still too rigid with data flow. Therefore, Zach drove his Windchaser Soul, while Donnie drove the Windchaser Haste, and rushed to the city where Sander was. At this time, Sander was writing a book in his workshop. He had an idea just now, so he quickly wrote on the paper. After leaving the idea and the main meridian intact, Sander let out a long sigh of relief. This way, his new book would have a direction to write in. At this moment, his phone rang. It was Zach. Sander smiled. He was thinking about the new book collaborating with Zach's Dream Film Company, but he didn't expect it. But Zach called. What a coincidence, Director Marquez. I was just talking about working with you in the next movie. Huh, what a coincidence. But before that, you should come out of your studio first. Your car is here. Sander was pleasantly surprised. Really? He looked downstairs through the window. It was not a big deal. That silver sports car had a lot of movement. It was full of energy just by looking at it. Sander called out to him and quickly went downstairs. He waited for the elevator to stop at the 4th floor. He did not know what it was doing, but he did not care. He ran down the stairs and arrived in front of the silver supercar while panting. Tisk tisk! It's really beautiful! One look, and you can tell that it's a beast! Zach threw the key away. What do you think? Want to try it out? Sander answered readily. Of course, let's go! As they were talking, Sander noticed Zach's Windchaser. This SUV of yours is not bad. Is it on the market yet? I'll buy one too, it looks pretty exciting. Zach patted the body of the car and replied with a smile. Sorry, this is the only one in the world. You can't buy it. Seeing Zach's proud look, Sander was unhappy. I have the only one in the world. Thinking about it, Sander felt much better. Let's go and test the car. There's a landing competition today. Let's go around. As a racer, Sander often participated in landing matches. The landing race was equivalent to a selection competition. Only the winner of the race was qualified to participate in a race that fit the criteria. The loser of the race would lose that qualification. Although the official events of the race were all publicly registered, the truth was, in short, only after passing the landing race would the racing team have the right to continue participating in the official race. As for those small teams with no money or sponsors, if they wanted to win the competitions through technology, they could forget about it. Without good cars, it was simply a dream. It was precisely because of this that the number of racing teams seen in official competitions were basically just a few. After Sander appeared, many people cheered for him. After all, he was a true king of technical skills. He was much better than those who spent money on him. However, when Zach followed Sander out of the car, everyone's attention changed. Hey Sander, your nanny car is not bad. Where did you buy it? Windchaser's new product? Zach was speechless. He was a famous person now. How could he take it as a nanny car? Besides, the nanny cars were all big cars. They could repair everything inside. Just what kind of expression did that fellow have to think that this Windchaser Soul car was a nanny car? Sander ignored the man and said to Zach, Jackson, he is a second-generation rally driver, and his family is rich. It is said that a man would go crazy when he drove a car. Although he didn't have any skills, he still loved to drive a 1,000 horsepower Wanderer over to race. There are more straightforward accelerations on the track of the landing race. No school bus can play with him like this. Except for a few of us who are rich and have some skills, no one else can compete with him. In a way, we have to admit that he was right. The car maniac went crazy. Using such a super sports car to participate in the landing race was a bit shameless. However, the more shameless a person was, the less self-aware they were. For example, Jackson was like this. He came to Sanders' car and patted the hood of the car. Wind Chaser! Even built a sports car? Don't tell me it has a good reputation. Sander didn't waste any more time talking. We'll know when we run later. Jackson was amused. What do you want to do later? Let's run now. Isn't the track empty? Let's run this straight race. 2,000 meters. Let's not run empty-handed. That's boring. Let's make some bets. Sander was a little uncertain in his heart. He was confident that he could run in a straight line and catch up to him. With the turbine increasing pressure, wouldn't he be looking for trouble? Jackson, on the other hand, was more than happy to do such a thing. He was more than happy to use the long and short kill to create his own reputation. Zach lit a cigarette and said to Donnie, who was watching the show with a smile on his face, "He is quite arrogant." Before Donnie could say anything, Jackson stroked his hair and said, "He is crazy." Therefore, Zach said to Sander, "Run. If you win, his car will belong to you. If you lose, your car will belong to him."